So if you constantly overthink what action to take, what to do to grow your business, and you find yourself switching from one strategy to another, and you're not simply sticking with one strategy for a longer period of time, and when you take some action, then you feel this resistance and it simply doesn't feel right. Well, if that's the case, then in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why this is happening and why you should forget about constantly needing to know the how, constantly needing to know what to do to take the next step to reach your goals and grow your business so you can achieve all your goals in the fastest, easiest, and effortless way possible. And also make sure that you stick till the end of this video, because I'm also going to show you 3 actionable steps that you can take immediately after watching that will transform your life and your business. So without further ado, let's just dive right into the video. So let's talk about why are you constantly obsessing about the how. So as humans, we have a logical side of it. It's just how we are programmed. It's just our human nature. We always want to know the reason why things are happening. We always want to know the clear path towards a goal or towards something. But as you may know, life doesn't always work that way. Things happen. Things that we don't predict happen. Because you can have a goal. You can have a clear path you think will help you to achieve that goal, but no one knows for 100% how you're going to get there and if you're going to get there and how long it's going to take you. And to give you an example, when I was trying to make more money to afford this apartment where I'm now in December, well, end of last year, essentially, I moved here in December 2023, but this whole thing started 2 months before that. I had a financial goal to hit, so I knew exactly how much money I need to afford this place. I created a plan and I created a set of actions, and I thought exactly that I know what to do and how to do it and all of that to make it happen and to achieve my goal. But because I was so fixated on one way of doing things, of just this one plan, I didn't let the intuition, God, or universe, or however you like to call it, present new ideas and show me different way. An interesting thing happened once I opened up to the possibility of my goal being achieved in a different way, and everything from there started to roll and started to happen for me. And this happens mainly because the universe or God, again, however you like to call it, wants to deliver you all the goals, all the desires to you in the easiest way possible. What I mean by that is that universe works with the principle of least resistance and least effort. And this brings me to the next point of overtaking the how. So when I was working towards my apartment and I didn't see a movement whatsoever and I was stuck, I was constantly questioning the how. I was obsessed by figuring out what's the best way to grow. What should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? All of those little things that are not just only connected to the business, but also to self-development and mindset and things like that. And that didn't help me progress to my goal whatsoever. So I continued to be stuck, anxious, and stressed out. But then I learned about this thing of simply forgetting the how, simply letting go and not really thinking about how am I going to do all of these things. And once I started to focus on what it is that I want, like the desire, and also who do I need to be every single day that I deserve to achieve that goal, then everything clicked and I started to see the traction. And by the end of November, so the 1st of December, I was able to move into my dream apartment. So everything worked out. And I only focused on these 3 things. Number one strategy and task that I knew at that time that could work. I didn't know for 100% that this is going to work. I just knew based on the information and the knowledge that I have over the years on how to grow the business, and also the blueprint that I was following that my mentor gave me. And that was just one strategy and a couple tasks that I just knew that, okay, this could work. Number 2, I was focused on my identity, and essentially I was constantly asking myself, who am I when I'm taking this particular action, and from what place am I operating? Am I operating from scarcity, doubt, worry, fear, or am I operating from joy and peace and passion and essentially abundance? That's the most important thing. And number 3, I was focused on the end goal. So me being in this apartment right here, and I was acting every single day like I'm already here. I was waking up in the morning and I acted like I just woke up from my bedroom, even though I was in a studio back then, right? I just operated every single day like I'm already in that apartment. So I sat down behind this exact desk, this exact chair, this exact computer, and I was acting like I'm in this office, not in my studio. And when I was taking this action towards the goal, sometimes, some days, even imperfect action, it was not 100%. Some days were good, some days were not that good. Regardless, I had full faith that I am doing enough. And those tasks were the only tasks that I needed to do, and that there's nothing else that I should be doing. That's the only thing I knew. And that's the key, honestly. As I was consistently reminding myself of this and acting like the person I needed to be to achieve the goal of me having this apartment, new ideas and new ways of doing things started to show up out of nowhere. On top of that, once I focused on operating from the end, from a place of already having what I want, again, new ideas and new ways of doing things popped up. Now you might be wondering why. Why should you operate from the end? Why should you act like you already have what you want? Because if you think about it, if you already have what you want, let's say me, I had that apartment, all right? Would I obsess about a certain ways of me getting there if I knew that I'm already there? Well, you wouldn't, okay? If you already have, let's say, a cake that you always wanted, would you think about how would you bake the cake? You already have the cake in your hands. So there's no question about how should you create it. Okay, I hope that makes sense, because this was the biggest eye-opener for me, because once I understood that, okay, if I already am in this apartment, I would not obsess about it. I would not obsess about how I got there. I would just do those 3 things that I mentioned and have faith that, okay, somehow it's going to happen. One way or another, I'm going to make it happen. And once I've done all of these things, I got new ways of reaching out to clients. And all of a sudden I woke up in the morning and I had this idea of a couple people that I could reach out to. They were my previous clients. And guess what? They became my clients again. And I also reached out to new people and of new ways of how I can essentially market myself, promote myself, different ways of doing content, different ways of delivering service. And yeah, guess what? Everything paid off, and I was able to not only make progress, but also reach my goal in time and got this apartment. So if I hadn't focused on those 3 things, then none of this would be really possible, and no things would really happen for me. Now let's talk about exactly what you can do and the 3 action steps that you can take to essentially forget about the how and attract your dreams and also achieve your goals in the fastest, easiest, and effortless way possible. So number 1, don't try to figure out the best way of doing something, because there is no such a thing as the right way or wrong way. Yeah, there are things that you can prioritize more, and there are things that are more efficient and better than other things. But at the end of the day, there's so many ways of doing things. There's so many ways of growing an online business. Okay, there's so many ways to growing your career, whether you're like in sales, real estate, for example, or whatever that is that you do. There's so many ways of doing things to reach a particular outcome. So forget about the how and just focus on what is it that you want and who you need to be in that particular moment. And once you do that, once you shift into that state, then all of a sudden new ways of doing things, new ideas will come to you. All the clues, all the hints, everything that you need to know, and everything that you're constantly obsessing about right now, they will come to you without you even needing to try and force things. All right. So pick 3 or 5 daily KPIs that right now you think like this could work. This could be the KPIs that I need to focus on. Just pick them, do them consistently, and have faith that these are the only things that you need to do right now. And if something new pops up, then you will act accordingly. But for now, that's everything that you have to do. So step number 2, everything will happen and come to you once you start taking the action from a new place. And new place means your new identity and new internal state. And most of the time, it's not really about a particular action or a task that makes the progress or helps you achieve the goals. It's actually the person who is behind the screen working and from which state they're operating from. Okay, so what thoughts they're thinking, how they view their work, how they view themselves, what frequency are they in, and essentially all of those things, their identity, their energy, and those things really matter. So action step for you is to focus on who you need to be every single day. Show up like that new version of yourself, and the right actions will come to you, because those right actions will come to the right person based on their frequency, based on their energy and identity. All right. So once you adapt this new version of yourself, then everything that is meant to be yours, everything that you need to do will come to you. And lastly, action step number 3, show up every single day, and especially in your work, like you already live in the end. And what I mean by live in the end is essentially live in the reality where your goal, where your desire, whatever that you're trying to achieve is already here and now, like it's right here, right now. Okay, just like I told you an example of my apartment. Every day I showed up and I worked like I already am in my apartment. I acted like it's already here and now. So whenever you start to obsess about the how and what to do in terms of taking action, and also like really obsessing about taking massive action and forcing yourself to do that, just bring yourself back to the end. Just close your eyes and feel like how you would feel if you already had what you want to have right in this moment. The right way of doing things will show up for you. So that's everything for today's video. If you have any questions about any of this, let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to get more help with mastering your mindset, becoming the best version of yourself, and achieving your goals in the fastest and easiest way possible, then you can check out the first link in the description, where essentially is a link to my school community called Flow Zone. For a very affordable price, you can work with me one-on-one, and also you can access all the tools and resources that you need to achieve your goals and make all of these things happen. So if you're interested, check the first link in the description. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.